Asta is back on the current banner. You get her completely for free, and she is still one of the best free-to-play characters in the game. I know Pride One has her ranked pretty low in the tier list, but I think that's just a testament to how good the support characters in this game actually are. Because while they might have her ranked down there, that doesn't mean she's bad at all. I still think that she is one of the best characters that you should be leveling up on your account. We'll get into that at the end of the video, but I do think that she is overall a super good unit for your account, especially if you're a new player coming to the game. She just gives you so many essentials, which we'll talk about in the kit breakdown here in a second, but she just brings so much to your account. I think she's an absolute must level up for any player's account just because of how much versatility she can actually bring. Let's go ahead and hop into a kit breakdown first. If you don't know what she does, this will be very sweet, simple, to the point, and then we'll hop into everything after that. So click on timestamps if you don't really give a shit. So guys, starting off with a kit breakdown first, guys, her skill is going to hit multiple times just like Harmony MC's skill hits. So it hits boom and then boom, 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 boom. So if there's only one enemy on the field, you're going to be destroying that toughness bar, which actually does kind of make her good for break teams, and she's an absolute menace at this destroying fire weak shields. But this is not like the main draw of her kit. The main draw of her kit is going to be her talent and her ultimate move. First of all, her talent is going to be giving you a pretty massive attack buff for the whole team, especially if you can get her to E6, because her E6, first of all, is going to allow you to actually stack her stacks up faster, which gives you your attack bonus. And on top of this, you'll be able to have practically an infinite uptime on a 70% attack buff. So this will make her good for dot teams, break teams, really any team in general, because every team can take use of attack, unless it's a character that scales really weird that doesn't, but just about every team will take use of her attack bonus that she's able to give. And then finally, her ultimate move, which you can get back up really fast as well. And if you're running her correctly, maybe like the build we're going to show you today, you can have practically a 100% uptime on the speed buff she gets to the whole team. And what I mean by speed buff, she gives a 50 speed buff to the whole team. 50 speed. You could quite literally go into battle with her, run every one of your DPS on attack boost, and be completely fine. You're gonna hit the threshold with her, no problem at all. Run her on a Kafka team, good, you 164 speed, easy clap for your Kafka there. Like, she just does so much. This is why I think that she probably is a little bit better than what Tidewing gives her on their tier list. Though I don't think she's like up there with like Sparkle, Bronya, and them. Right now, I think she sits kind of in between where Hanya and also Pela are at. She sits in the middle of those two, because I don't think she's as good as someone like Pela is. I think she is more versatile than Pela though, just because of the buffs that she does provide, but she's not as good as Pela, if you know what I mean. Just because you're a jack of all trades doesn't mean you're particularly like really good at one thing. Same thing with Gwenifin, right? I think Gwenifin's a great all-around character, even though she's kind of like okay at everything she does, but she can do a lot of different things, which can actually help a lot of different teams out. Asta's in the same boat. She's a jack of all trades. Now, let's go ahead and talk about her best light cones now, because honestly, she's a very free-to-play build. Like, her best build is probably the most free-to-play build in the game, if I had to think. So her best light cone that you can get for her is obviously going to be the Bronya light cone, which you can buy from the shop if you save up your little Stardust or whatever they're called, and you can buy it from there, or maybe you just get it through Gacha or something like that too. But that is going to be her best option. Not to say that the other options aren't close behind that one, because me personally, what I like running is Meshing Cogs. Meshing Cogs is going to be super good for her. And I don't think it's her second best or third best option, but it does fall very close to those options, just because it is going to give her 8 energy every time she is attacked or she does an attack, which she'll be doing an attack every single turn. And if she gets hit, that's an extra 8 energy right there as well. So you never have to worry about not getting energy with her. And yes, there are better options in this light cone, but the main thing here is this is a 3-star light cone, which you should get S5 just by summoning on any banner you really like. You are going to get this S5 so quickly, like it's not going to matter at all, honestly. But if we want to talk about a better option, and probably her second best in slot, is going to be Memories of the Past. You can get this S5 is going to be giving her break effect, which allows her more versatility to run on a break team. And on top of that, it works the exact same way as Meshing Cogs does. She attacks every single turn anyways. So you're always going to be getting the 8 energy every single turn. Granted, you have an S5, but you will be getting that energy every single turn. This is a more pay to win option, I guess you could say here. And then another option you could run is Dance Dance Dance. Now, Dance 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 is okay. She's giving the team a lot of speed already, so the advanced action forward does help, but not as much as that light cone will work on someone like a Ting Yun, right, which has no like real speed buff. Unless you get their Eidolons up, you put Benediction on the ally, then you give them a little bit of a speed buff there. But other than that, like, Dance 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 is going to be super good on someone else. Not to say it's bad on her, because giving advanced action forward for the whole team is absolutely amazing. I'm just saying, if you only have one copy of Dance Dance Dance, there are better places to put that light cone than on Asta. But that's really all I have to say about light cones. I personally run Meshing Cogs on mine, so run yours the way you want to run them with whatever light cones that you have. Well, Meshing Cogs works just fine though. Very free to play, very kosher option. Now let's go ahead and talk about her best in slot relic sets, because some of her relic sets have changed since the last time I made an update on this. Wait a second. second, stop right there before Asta hits you with her Taco Bell dong. Yes, we just stopped at the Taco Bell drive-thru, and I just need to tell you guys, subscribe to the channel, please. We're about to hop into these relics. I don't have enough money to pay for my order up here. What am I gonna do? I took my hand off the wheel. I'm gonna die now. Anyways, guys, subscribe to the channel. My acting was shit, but surely the rest of the guide won't be shit, so at least you have that to look forward to. Anyways, guys, subscribe and let's get back to those relics. So, first of all, her best in slot still is probably the 4-piece hacker space. She gives speed to herself, which she wants a lot of, and then you also give speed for the entire team as well. But that is not to say that's the only option here. You could arguably run like a 2-piece speed set just to give her speed, and then really any other of like the supportive sets, whether that be you give her some HP percentage, you give her break effect, you give her attack percentage, like whatever you want to do there, those are viable options as well with running 2-piece speed. But her second best in slot option is probably going to be the Watchmaker set. The reason I say the Watchmaker sets are second best in slot and not like something like Thief of the Shooting Meteor is because Thief of the Shooting Meteor relies on her breaking the enemy shield. If she's not breaking the enemy shield, you're not getting the extra effect. The thing is, she is so fast with having her ult up that running something like Watchmaker, especially if you don't have Watchmaker on someone else on the team here, then you'll be giving your whole team 30% extra break effect just by popping her ult off, which is already really fast to get back up as is. So that is another good option to run. Now, there is an option that I have tried running that works okay. It can work. Maybe if you get really sweaty with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there though. The new break set. Yeah, the one that gives you defense shred based off the amount of break effect that you have. I tried using this on her. Her damage was okay. It wasn't the best in the world, but it definitely, it kind of worked. Like, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to put that out there, right? I think that set could work, especially because it does give break effect to you. You could maybe even run a 2-piece of this just to get some extra break effect on her if you're running her in a break effect team, right? Or a break team. You don't have Ruan Mei, you have Asta. I think Asta can slot in there. Not to say the damage is not going to plummet on that team, but she can work as a replacement on that team for someone like a Ruan Mei. And then obviously, if you just have Thief of the Shooting Meteor from doing weekly bosses, that set can work as well, just because it does give you break effect, gives you 32% break effect as a matter of fact. So that can work as well. Now let's go ahead and talk about those best in slot planner sets. The number one best in slot planner set here, guys, is probably going to be Broken Keel, just because she gives herself effect rest, so she's not getting debuffed, and then she's giving the rest of the team crit damage. That is great by me, so really any crit oriented team is going to really take use of this. But this is where I said Asta is versatile, right? If you're not running her on a crit based team, then you might be running her on a dot team, which in that case, Ageless would work perfectly fine for you. It gives her more max HP, so she's tankier, and then on top of that, you're giving the team more attack buff. She's already giving you probably 70% attack if you have her talent maxed out, and then an extra attack buff on top of that. Your dots are going to become even stronger, and like I said, multi-versatile, multi-role unit. You can also run Pinaconi because it's going to be giving her extra energy regen. On top of that, giving a buff to your fire damage allies, right? So if you're running on a team with someone like maybe a Topaz, right? Or maybe even a Himiko, you're going to help that team out significantly as well. Now, I do want to make one extra suggestion. If you were to go down the route of maybe giving her the new break set for the 4-piece, you can maybe run the break set for the 2-piece here as well. She does fire damage, so I mean, she can get the extra break effect there, and it definitely would help out in meeting your threshold for the other set. Just saying, just putting it out there. It can work. DPS Asta on the come up for sure, no cap. But with the sets kind of out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about her recommended stats, main stats, substats, everything like that. I'll throw a chart up on screen of kind of the numbers you're going to want to be hitting as far as stats go, like actual stats. But first, let's talk about the main stats, because this is going to be like the first thing you should be farming for, especially if you're an early game player. You shouldn't really be focusing on the subs right now. Just focus on getting some of these main stats here, because that's really going to boost your account up more than like focusing on min-maxing subsets early into the game. Now, if you're later in the game, this can still apply to you, but probably not as much just because you have more relics on your account and you can be more picky and choosy with them. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the boots first. Speed. You want her to be as fast as humanly possible here, so speed here is going to look really nice. On the body, HP or defense, you want her to be as tanky as absolutely possible. Make her tanky, make her good, make her great. On the rope, it's going to be ERR. I don't think there's really any negotiation here. I think even when you're running her on a break team, wait a second, guys, let me take that back. If you're going to get a little silly with it, then maybe for rope, you could run break effect. DPS Asta, like I said, break Asta. Maybe it could work, maybe. And finally, for the orb, you're going to want to run HP or defense, though you can run fire damage orb, attack percent orb, if you wanted to get a little bit sussy with other stats, right? It doesn't have to be these stats. As long as she's able to survive, you can really run whatever you want to here. So if she's surviving as is, then who's to say that you can't put attack percent on the chest plate or crit rate, crit damage on that? DPS Asta. I'm going to say it. DPS Asta till the end of time. Okay, guys? DPS Asta. Maybe, surely it works, right? She gives herself so much attack. maybe running some other stats would be nice too. Anyways, let me stop coping now. Let's go ahead and talk about some of those substats now. Substats are going to work just the same way as the other stats. Gamer speed is the #1 thing you should be focusing on. After that, if you're running to run Break ASTA, then Break Effect would be next. You want speed, Break Effect. Other than that, HP, defense, effect res, just to make her survive, just so she's not getting debuffed. Those are the main things you're going to be wanting to focus on. Very, very simple to build, like I said. The main thing that you're going to want to focus on is speed. She gives herself a lot of speed, but you still want her fast enough and at a break point where she's able to actually go like first in rotation to make sure she's popping it off before everyone else kind of goes. Now, as far as recommended stats, I'll go ahead and throw them up on screen now. Obviously, speed over 134, HP probably around 35 to 3,800. Defense is going to be around 1,000 or above. And break effect, if you want to be silly with it, you want to make that as high as you can possibly get it. Probably over 180 would be great. If you're running that other stat, and then yeah, you need to be right here. Yeah, so good luck with that one. And now I want to talk about the teams, and I want to talk about why I think she's a must build for every single account. So guys, the teams, she can be ran on so many teams. Dot teams, break teams, fire teams, any team that uses attack percentage or needs speed. Every team is going to need speed or attack percentage, right? That's the main thing, right? And on top of that, she gets fire damage for your fire teams as well, right? So she is going to be really good on a mono fire team like Topaz Himeko, or even just running Himeko in the team. She is going to be great for that. I already mentioned the other teams as well, right? I don't want to touch too much on those teams just because she is so versatile. She really works with these teams quite nicely. Now, the reason you should be building her is because of that versatility. Say you get into a situation, right, or you are using a team that maybe you don't have the best in-slot support character. You just put Asta in. Literally, just throw Asta in there, or maybe even Ting Yun, right? But some teams won't require energy on the team, like something like an Acheron team, right? Let's say you have E2 Acheron for whatever reason, then you have dog shit other things on your account. You could run Asta on the team, provide some extra dots on the enemy. You could run her on a team with like Kafka, Gwenifin, and then her on the team. That works well too. Literally, the reason you should be building her is because she is so versatile and can be thrown just about anywhere and work, right? She is just that bitch, and I love her to death. Anyways, gamers, that's gonna do it for our build guide today on Miss Asta Bobasta. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a subscribe on the channel. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, gamers, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, bye-bye.